Yo, what's going on, guys? So this is the part 2 of the video that we just released. And this is the Contenders versus Pretenders. So in the previous video, obviously we talked about the Eastern Conference. In this video, we're going to talk about the Western Conference.
I feel like there's a lot more to say about the West. The West is very interesting.
Very.
Let's get started with the Nuggets. All the years, I would say Pretenders, but I'm starting to believe in them a bit more. Jokic is looking like a superstar, and he has for the past few years. They have a great role player in KCP. Look at that. When you look at that starting lineup, you have Jamal Murray, KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. That's one of the best starting lineups in the NBA. You know, obviously Murray and Michael Porter Jr. have been like a bit up and down. I saw his game against the Timberwolves, and Porter Jr. was just sniping, bro. And we always talk about this. If it always feels like he has more potential than what he's showing.
I've never seen a player like Michael Porter Jr., bro. He takes everything. I'm talking about everything, but the problem is that he makes it, bro. I think he might have the best percentage to hard shot making type shit. Like, bro, this dude does not miss, and he be having like hands in his face, insane difficulty on shots. Super impressive.
But as I was saying Contenders. I think that the West is weak this year. They don't have a straight like weak as in terms of like they don't have a like two teams that are like above the rest. So it's just because of that fact and how good they have looked this year, I'll put them as a contender. I believe they can beat anybody they play against in the playoffs, but you might disagree. So
I think they're a piece away. I think they need a better player as their number 2. I think this year Aaron Gordon has been his number 2.
Who could beat them?
Who can beat them? I think the Grizzlies could beat them. Why? I think the Clippers could beat them.
I think you're tripling the Memphis.
No. I don't know. I don't think they will. I think they can. It's different.
Okay, but my point is they're contenders because they could beat anybody.
No, I think they could beat anybody for sure. I think they could lose to anybody too.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like a little part of me still doesn't think that it's their year yet.
Yeah.
But I want to give them some respect and say contenders for now.
I do want to give them some respect too because I really like all their pieces. I do think they are one piece away. I always talk about this, but I feel like a team that was able to build around a star was the Warriors last year. Everyone else on that team, I don't care if Wiggins or Draymond made the All-Star game. I always say that. It doesn't matter. They were role players at the end of the day. And I think they were able to put a bunch of role players around one superstar. I don't know if I trust the Nuggets this year to do that because I don't think that they have the role players in the magnitude of like Draymond Green. I know Draymond Green wasn't the best in the finals, but I mean, come on, guys. That's a Hall of Famer. And the same thing with Klay Thompson. Like, it's just the little intangibles. And I don't know if I trust all these people. I'm hoping that Jamal Murray takes a step. I would love for them to win a championship. I just don't know if I believe in them as much.
All right, let's go to a second team, a team that we're hitting on a lot, the Memphis Grizzlies. You know, they have had a great season. Ja Morant has played good once again. Desmond Bain has taken a big step when it comes to scoring. Jaren Jackson Jr. made the All-Star game and is about to win Defensive Player of the Year. You know, we have our thanks to Jaren Jackson Jr., but I can't really disagree. I feel like there's not other players that are like contending against him right now.
Yeah, that's what I always tell you. I don't think
it is what it is. And at the end of the day, we can't deny he's a great shot blocker. And they have a lot of defense. You know, they have a lot of young players that are going up and down the court. Dillon Brooks is one of the worst players in the NBA, but whatever.
Worst players? I would say, like, honestly, if they had, like, a Mikal Bridges. I know Mikal Bridges fixed a lot of holes.
They tried. They tried.
I think they tried.
And that would have been, if they would have gotten him, okay.
I would have said they're
At this point, I'm, like, talking about the
That's
favorites.
an incredible fit right there for them because I think Dillon Brooks, I've never seen a player like Dillon Brooks, bro. This is a chugger who's, like, because when we think of chuggers, we think of like Michael Porter Jr. players like that. But he's like a chugger.
That's not even like a scorer, like
bro. And he's like a nuisance. Like he's like a Patrick Beverly. That's like if Patrick Beverly pulled up and just shot everything, no matter what, bro. The hardest three.
And like, there's gonna be some games that you're gonna be on fire. You're gonna get like 30 points, but there's gonna be games you're gonna.
Bro, he got his season high this year, but he took as many shots as he made. Yeah, I think they're just young at this point. To be honest, I think they're one piece away. Like I would say about the Nuggets. I think they're definitely one piece away though.
A lot of people hit on the Memphis, and it's their fault. They be trash talking a lot, and they just be really cocky. But we can't deny the fact that they are building a great team down there. I don't think it's a year yet, but I wouldn't be surprised in the next 3 years they get another piece and they have an actual chance of winning the championship.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if Denver or even the Grizzlies win a championship. I know that sounds crazy, but it just depends who's in their path. I think that's super important. But I wouldn't be surprised if Denver wins. I would love for them to win.
But me personally, and I might be biased, but I'll pick Dallas to beat them. I trust Memphis. I trust Kyrie and Luka more than anybody in Memphis. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right, next team, the Kings. You know, shout out to them for having a great season and finally making. It looks like they're going to finally make it back into the playoffs.
Probably.
But that's like the biggest pretender on this list.
Absolutely. And it's what I always say. It's impossible to win a championship with two lower tier all stars. Impossible. Nobody. I've never seen anyone do it except like if you're talking about the Pistons like years and years ago.
No, but that's
like,
not gonna happen now.
That's not gonna happen. And they had like 4
Yeah,
lower
exactly.
tier all stars.
And that was like great defense. That was really specific circumstances for us.
Exactly. Look, this team, nothing about them really screams to me contenders. I think they've been able to sneak up on people, which we see that a lot with different teams. We saw it with the Jazz.
Like, I could see them, for example, having a bad second half to you.
Yeah, I could see that. And that's no disrespect. I know Kings fans are going to probably hate on us, but it's just the truth. Nothing about their team makes me think that they'll be real contenders at all. At all.
Dude, I think they're getting balanced first round.
And look, I have been impressed with De'Aaron Fox. I love this ability to close out games this year.
Sabonis and Fox, they have both had fire seasons.
Yeah.
It's not on them. The team's just not as good as the
No,
other
for
ones.
sure. And even if we're looking, Kevin Huerter, he's been incredible shooting the ball. But do you really trust Kevin Huerter? And look, he's played good in the playoffs before. But it's just it's like I don't really know if I trust all the players in the team. That's no disrespect again. You want to just move on?
Yeah, let's go to the Clippers. The Clippers, 5 contenders. They've been contenders every single year ever since they got Kawhi and Paul George.
Which is crazy that nobody ever.
Let's talk about that. They've been getting too many passes. Straight up. People disrespect the Lakers so much for missing the playoffs last year and how things went down with Westbrook and everything. But at the end of the day, they won a championship. And the Clippers have it. Straight up. When that season started, 2020, they were in the same tier.
Yeah.
And it was Battle of LA. Oh, look, the 2 best duos in the NBA. And you can talk about injury. The thing is, you can't even bring up injuries because the Lakers have had as many injuries as them. And they won a championship. And like the Clippers just have straight up like that. That's it. Now I was gonna say Kawhi Leonard gets so many passes. Paul George gets so many passes. And that gets me upset because the Lakers don't get a single pass.
Not at all. Not one. And, my thing with the Clippers is just like, I think this is the best team. So it kind of sucks that Phoenix got Kevin Durant. Because if not, I mean, even just with the addition of Russell Westbrook, I think on paper, without talking about Phoenix, this is the best team. I love all their depth. Even the moves that they made.
They still might be the best team.
No,
that depth is crazy.
Maybe because the depth is crazy. And I think you traded away 2 point guards, but you were able to get Russell Westbrook. And we talked about that. In the video that when we said about the moves that they made, we said if they get Russell Westbrook, this could be very interesting because look, they traded away Luke Kennard and got a veteran and Aaron Gordon back.
Yeah.
They got busy. They got Bones Highland for nothing basically. Even if he doesn't play, that's just having that score off the bench like a Jamal Crawford type. That's amazing. And then they were able to get Mason Plumlee, who I think he could have really helped any contender out. Very underrated pickup. And they've been needing a backup center for a minute. So I love all their additions and getting Russell Westbrook. It's incredible. Norman Powell.
It's a high reward, no risk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Getting him for a minimum.
Like their entire team, top to bottom, 0 holes. Everyone can play defense. Everyone can shoot. Everyone can score. There's playmaking now. There's scoring and there's scoring in bunches. There's shot blocking. You can put a Marcus Morris as your center.
Yeah. The only thing that I would say has a chance of derailing them is their 2 superstars. Funny enough. And again, Kawhi himself, I have no questions of. He has proven himself to be close, to be a great player in the playoffs. Paul George, debatable. But I would say that Paul George, when playing with Kawhi Leonard, weird enough, that's when he chokes the most.
Yeah.
Because I think he's not meant to be a number 2, and then he'd be like getting in his own head. He'd be not knowing like exactly what role to take when he's playing with Kawhi Leonard. Like the best Paul George we have seen in the past few years was when Kawhi went down. And he was able to lead them to the conference finals. And he even won 2 games. It was 4-2 against the team that ended up making it to the finals. So I think them playing with each other, like we have talked about it too, they're similar players. I think that one of them has to take like a step down for the other to like excel. Yeah. So I think the only chance that I see them of them losing is them getting each other's way and having performances like, I know it's only 1 game, but this is just an example. Like the one against the Bucks earlier this year that they both like choked at the end.
I mean, we've seen it in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, we saw it against the Nuggets. I know it's a few years ago, but whatever. Like, they're still the same players they were like back then. So I think the only chance of them losing is that. Besides that, they have no excuses. They have a fire team, like you said.
And that's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse. It's a reason.
Yeah, it's
a reason now, but it's not an excuse.
Bro, these people literally score in the same spots. They have to get to the same spots. The way that they play is literally one passing the ball to another and say, "You do it. Now you do it." And I think the best example of that being able to work is Tatum and Brown. I think they're literally the Kawhi and PG that we thought we were going to get. But why? Because Jaylen Brown has been able to sort of take a step back to Tatum, and he knows that. And Paul George, he talks a lot that he's gonna do it, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, but he hasn't done it. You know what I'm saying? He really hasn't. I don't think he can, because it's easier to tell a player like Jaylen Brown, who's a young player, to take a step back than it is to Paul George, who's been a made player, who's a 30-year-old man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and on top of that, they have a lot of injuries that have stopped them from playing that much together.
Exactly. So and hopefully Russ can help them each get the ball. But like we were talking about,
like, hopefully for them, not for us.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we don't want them to win, obviously.
But I think we have talked about this. We don't know if the type of playmaking that Russ brings is the best playmaking that.
Because they're not like spot up shooters. PG a little bit, but I don't really see Russ and Kawhi like, oh Russ, oh Kawhi go to corner, I got you, boom. Yeah. That doesn't really make sense in my head. So yeah, we'll talk enough about them. It's like the Clippers. Like the Clippers are a really interesting team. So now we got the Suns. Obviously they got KD, and I think they would have gotten KD. I think this year they would have lost for sure.
And I think that would have been the end of the Suns.
Yeah, this is a fire move. Like this keeps them obviously competitive this year and next year as well. What can I say about them? On paper, they look like the best team, the best trio in the NBA. Even though Chris Paul is like digressed a little bit this season, he's still Chris Paul. At the end of the day, he's still a great playmaker. He can still give you 20 points every now and then and get on fire. And it's just his IQ is always going to be there. KD, one of the best players in the NBA, and Booker, the best shooting guard in the NBA, top 15 player. So on paper, it's looking insane. Obviously, they lost a lot of depth.
Yeah. No, what I'm gonna say is, okay, a lot of people are questioning the fit. Either some people are saying it's gonna work, some people are not. What I'm gonna say about the fit, look, Booker has never been able to take a step back.
Well, not that he has never
had the opportunity to, because he's never had nobody's ever pulled up and said, "Oh, I'm gonna be the number one scoring option." So we don't know how Booker's gonna interact with that. But we have seen Kevin Durant pull up to a team and be able to fit seamlessly. I mean, we saw him with Kyrie, we've seen him with Russ, and most importantly, we've seen him with Golden State. I think maybe, I don't know if this is gonna happen, but maybe, I think Kevin Durant's gonna allow Booker to be the number one option.
KD is a big Booker believer, so I could see it.
I could see that. Yeah. I don't know, that sounds interesting, but maybe just so Booker can continue being his own, and since Kevin Durant has been able to play with these great players, and also Kevin Durant's not like I have to get 100 shots every game type.
KD does not care.
So,
but if it was somebody else, not KD, let's say it was like a prime Melo, I'll be like,
absolutely.
But KD is super unselfish.
That's why I trust KD a lot. But the other thing that I will say about that is they do score in very similar spots, so there is some worry right there.
Yeah, and like the bench is looking like mid,
and the defense is not too good either.
I think that's not gonna destroy them, because at the end of the day you have 4 players that you can always keep on the court. Because Aiden, not the most consistent player, but at the end of the day, he's still a good player. He's still a good center.
I think his big thing is just being aggressive. But now he's gonna have a little bit of an excuse, which sucks for his development. But it's just a fact. He's gonna have an excuse that they're not gonna ask so much of him.
Yeah, honestly, for Aiden himself, I wish he would have gone to another team. But it is what it is. Now he has a chance to win a championship once again. So there's no reason for him not to be happy.
Dallas Mavericks. That's your team. I'll talk about it.
My team, yeah. All right, so I haven't really gotten the chance to watch Kyrie and Luka play too much, but what I've seen, it seems like they're still figuring things out. They're both trying to be really unselfish, but that's kind of like hurting them a bit.
Have they won?
Together they have not won. They lost 2 games, and they're both super close games, so let's not like panic and be like, oh, well, this is not going to work or anything. And also, this sounds stupid, but in the All-Star game, it's like a little moment between them, Luka and Kyrie. Like, it's kind of
I saw a few little moments, and I think they have a good friendship. I think Kyrie's really trying to work. I've never seen Kyrie like this before. Not in a while, at least. Not since the Cavs.
Like, I think like you said, like, he's really committed to this. I think he respects Luka and wants to make it work with him. So, I think the Mavericks, they were dangerous before, even without Kyrie, just because of how good Luka is. Looking to put a scare into anybody's team. We saw what he did last year against the Suns. Now you add a team player like Kyrie that's super close in the playoffs, that can go crazy at any moment. I wouldn't put them as contenders.
Oh, by the way, Clippers and the Suns are both contenders.
Yeah, we already said that's clear. I wouldn't put them as contenders, but I would put them as a very scary team that could end up in the conference finals out of nowhere. Like they could sneak up on you and out of nowhere, like they beat like a Suns or like a Clippers or like a Nuggets out of nowhere, and I wouldn't be surprised.
You know, it's funny because I've said this before in a video a long time ago. I think it might have been the video that we're talking about Contenders and Pretenders, where I talked about the Mavericks. I actually said that the best addition that they can make for both Denver and the Dallas is adding a Kyrie type. I do think Dallas. I think next year, let's see the pieces they build around these two.
If Kyrie stays,
which I think he will. If we see the defensive pieces around them, they can add some good defenders, some good shooters. I think they could really put a scare on some teams, like you were saying. I love this team. I don't think they're contenders just yet, but I do think that they're headed in that direction. Yeah. And luckily, Luka is young. I know Kyrie's a little bit old, but having that veteran to teach Luka and to help him. You know, I've talked about this when they made the move, to help him really help play with someone that can take the ball away from his hands and help him like play a little bit better without.
And I get aside because Luka somebody always goes hard in the first half. And then we have seen him like get burned out towards the second half, so this can definitely help with that. The Pelicans, if they're 100% healthy, they have a chance. Not a chance to win, not yet. But I would say like that's another scary team that can like last year we saw them about and like won 2 games against the Suns. So I think they could do something like that again.
I absolutely love their depth. I think they're some of the one of the biggest, the most deep teams in the 100%. NBA. I love the addition of Josh Richardson, trading Devontae Graham, because Devontae Graham is just a chugger once again. He was a great shooter, yes, but like I think bringing a piece like Josh Richardson, a vet who can play defense, who can shoot, who can play make a little bit, but having him in your second unit, I think that's great. Let's see how they look with Zion and Bi. We've barely seen them play together.
Yeah, that's this year. If they would have been healthy the whole year, they would have been like up here, like probably number 4, 3, even crazy because they were up there before the injuries.
For sure. Yeah. So let's see what they're able to do when Zion comes back. Maybe I think Zion and Ingram have been injured for 2 months this year. That I don't know if they have a chance anymore.
Yeah, then the season they might be capped.
They might be capped.
Sadly, but whatever. They have nothing to worry about. Zion and Ingram are both young, and most players on the team are young. So
yeah, you got CJ. I love that pickup for them.
Minnesota, like they might make the playoffs, but they're gonna lose.
I think the thing with Minnesota is we really need to see Gobert and Cat.
Yeah, it's funny because when Cat and Gobert were playing together, I think they were looking worse. So I think only having one center is the best move for them.
Which it was obvious.
Yeah.
But
let's see what they do with that.
Matt Conley pickup. I think he's a better fit for Gobert. It's funny. They literally got him for Gobert.
D'Angelo Rose is obviously better, but they don't want to be there anymore. So
Golden State is one of those teams that I don't know if I think they're pretenders this year. Oh, you don't think so? You think they're contenders?
Okay, but it's funny saying it.
Yeah, saying pretenders is like weird because
they're not.
They're not pretenders. Yeah,
they're not pretenders to be.
Golden State, I think they've been destroyed by injuries this year. But even without the injuries, we see a lot of the holes that they have in this team. Holes like defense. I think they're not as good defensively as they are now. Their stars are getting old, and they're making way too much money. We're not talking about Steph Curry, but Clay and Draymond. And it's hard to ask Clay for that much. It really sucks. He had two of the possibly worst injuries that you can get.
He was giving you some good games. He has dropped 50, he has dropped 40. But at the end of the day, even with how good he has been at times, he's just not the Clay that he was before. And like we were saying, that's not his fault. We feel sorry for him.
It's kind of like the Rustin, bro. It's the money at the end of the day that's hurting the team. If Clay was making less money than that, this wouldn't be a problem.
And it's crazy because they're able to like re-sign a bunch of players, even go over luxury tax.
Yeah,
I feel like Wiggins this year has been quiet. I feel like he's
also been a little bit injured.
He's been injured. Maybe in the playoffs picks it up. But at the end of the day, their team they have lost a few players, but it's still similar to last year. So I wouldn't count them out yet. I feel like the worst you can never count them out.
Yeah.
But right now, they might even fall out of the top 10 with Curry being out. So I think when Curry comes back, he's going to have to like go off.
And Jordan didn't take the step that we wanted him to take.
Call him Jordan's crazy.
Jordan Poole, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Jordan Poole is a controversial player. You know, we're not big believers of him just because we feel like he's inconsistent and he shoots too much. He takes a Stephen Curry, and we have seen moments like Curry has been upset at him. Like, bro, you're not me. Like, didn't say that.
We were talking about this the other day, and it was a good point by me. It was a good point that we brought up because Steph, the shots that Poole takes are horrible shots. Like they're worse shots than Curry takes because to me, Steph doesn't take bad shots. Like we look at the shots that he takes, and we're like, that's crazy. But if you really look at it, one, they're in rhythm. Two, they might not be contested. Stuff like that. Like the shots that he takes, they make sense. You know what I'm saying? But we see Jordan Poole take these insane shots off the dribble, falling down, like super contested, and they're bad. And I think he still needs to develop. And it sucks because the good thing about Curry, with the way he developed, he was able to come up as a little bit of a role player. He behind a Monte Ellis. So he was able to figure out how to play well without the ball. He was able to he learned how to not take that crazy shots. And then when he started developing this, when he started introducing more of that. Jordan Poole came in chugging, taking whatever shot he wanted. And I think that's the negative. And I don't know if Jordan Poole can become a Steph Curry type. It's going to be difficult. At the end of the day, we gotta understand this. And I think people sometimes forget this. It's hard to ask a player that went damn near in the second round. I think he was a super late first round pick to become a superstar.
Yeah, people call him the worst player in the NBA.
His first year, people called him the worst player in the NBA. That's a fact.
He has already overachieved. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was kind of like when people were complaining about Kuzma. I think Kuzma and him were taking the same pick, number 27. Yeah, Poole was taking 28. And it's hard to ask a player like that to be something that he might not be able to. And I think that's our problem sometimes as NBA fans. We be asking too much of certain players.
Like Lakers fans, like Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
But Austin Reeves is an undrafted player that has overperformed. Like, you can get okay, I'm not going to say that you should hold him to a second-round pick or an undrafted player forever.
Yeah, because if he's shown that he's been better, then fine. But all he's shown you, and there's no disrespect, he's shown you inconsistency. He's had great games, he's had terrible games. And his decision-making just isn't there. Draymond Green brought up a good point about James Wiseman. He said that he's going to go to a team where he's able to make mistakes. And I think that Jordan Poole has not been able to do that. His first season, he barely even played. I remember he played more towards the end of the year.
I'll put them right in between contenders and pretenders. Yeah. If they get fully healthy and they show flashes of last year, like, I'm willing to put them as contenders. If I was a team, I would definitely not like to see him in the first round.
Absolutely not. And
so I don't want to put no disrespect towards them. I mean,
especially Stephen Curry. We got to put respect on
Stephen Curry is one of the best players of all time. Top 10 player of all time. So Thunder, like, they might make the playoffs, they might not, but they're so way too young. Jazz, they don't care about making the playoffs. Probably won't. Portland, they lost Anthony Simons for who knows how long, and even with him, they were probably not. They were not 100% sure to make the playoffs. Now the Lakers.
Okay, we talk about the Lakers all the time. I think, look, the biggest thing with the Lakers, and I told him this. If this was the Lakers team that came into the season, we would be speaking about them very
contenders, straight up. Like, I would say they're 100% confidence.
But we've seen the way they've played this year. We see how low they are. We see how hard it is to incorporate 3 starters and a bench player. 5 new players, 3 starters. It's hard to incorporate that at literally like at the end of the season, 1/3 to go. That's hard to do. But if we came into the season with this team, I mean that is looking like contenders. It's hard to say what the Lakers are or what they're not. Let's see how they perform these upcoming games, and that will let you know. On paper, contenders, but they don't have enough time to really gel. Let's see, like what I was saying. Let's see what they're able to do. It's too early right now to say. So I know this video went up a little bit long.
We had a lot to say.
The West has an opportunity to be one of the most incredible playoffs. It might go down to some of the best basketball we have seen.
100%.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Hope you guys like this video. It's long or whatever. We have to get analytical right here. You know, like, subscribe, comment, and be on the lookout for more videos.
Yeah, peace out. Best video we've ever made.
I like